All right.
Thank you.
We
Good seeing you,
have,
Mr. Finn.
On the phone, I have Mike Malloy, just so folks are aware. Mike couldn't be here tonight, and we didn't have a Zoom, so we have all the regular members are here, so Jeffrey won't be voting. All right, first order of business is public comment. Is there any public comment? Mr. Franklin?
Mr. Franklin, 20 Heather Lane. Comments concerning the, I apologize, I was not able to make the meeting the last time when you discussed the first selectman's salary. I think it's a good idea to go into executive session to discuss this. But I have a couple of recommendations for improvement. If it's going to be, in essence, a performance evaluation for the first select board woman, I think it would be prudent to invite them in to discuss the accomplishments over the prior year and the challenges, and then continue with your executive session. Secondly, if you were reluctant to give a salary increase, you could easily have given a bonus in lieu of that. Secondly, you could potentially consider indexing the salary through CPI or whatever. And lastly, I think when Mark Porter was here and Dave McNally was here and I was here, we conducted, and I think it should occur on a regular basis, perhaps on a 5-year interval, a market survey of the surrounding towns on the salary for the first selectman to determine a market rate for the first selectman. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Any other public comment? Okay, are there any additions to the agenda? All right, we have a little bit of administrative stuff before we get into the meeting. We have minutes from April 9th and April 22nd that have been distributed. Is there a motion to accept those?
Make a motion.
Are you doing them separate?
I'll second.
Let's do them one at a time, so we'll do the April 9th first.
Yep.
So Todd Springer, Todd Dutton on the 9th.
Thank you.
All right, is there any discussion on the April 9th minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstention? Okay, that carries. Is there a motion for April 22nd?
So move. Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstention? Okay, that carries. Communication and correspondence. I just want to, for the record, I think these are, most of these things you received or I passed on to you at some point, and a couple of them may come up at other meetings, but we had asked for an accounting of the ARPA fund. We received that. That's not necessarily on the agenda tonight, but it will come up. We'll take a look at that. We have a request that's also not on the agenda tonight, but for a senior center fund that would be a fund that goes across budget years. We've done things like that recently with the police fund, so there's something in your email right after that. It'll be coming up on the meeting probably in May. We had some communication that we're all on in the budget comment mailbox. So I just want to point that out. Last meeting, I had mentioned the draft sewer policy. I did get that over to the town attorney shortly after that meeting. Haven't heard back. I had a clarifying question from him, but other, in terms of his review, I haven't heard back. And that's it. Just wanted to make sure those are on the record. And did anyone else have any communication or correspondence they wanted to share? Okay. New business, we have discussed the public hearing input and update revenue projections for town meeting presentation. So first, if we want to just go around the table, I guess, and maybe we'll start with Mike on the phone. Oh, actually, Mike, were you able to see the hearing?
No, I can't. Why don't I go last?
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, okay. So,
I can start us off.
Yeah, let's go around the table and see what people thought.
I think it's harder for being one of the newer guys before, I think it's harder for them to start off. Another good turnout for the second year in a row. I know when I first started on here, we'd only have a couple people in the audience, so I think we're all very appreciative of the feedback that's given by the crowd there. I think this is one of the first times in my 4 or 5 years here that I haven't heard anyone say that we were too low or too high on either one of the board presentations. It was just kind of clarification questions, so I don't know what that means for us. I don't know if we hit the nail on the head here. I personally think we do, but that's up for the rest of the board to decide as well.
All right. Mike, you want-
Sure. I appreciate the turnout as well. I thought that was great. I think that, what we presented, it seems as though people were in favor for the most part. And, yeah, I mean, I would vote for what we already have.
Jim?
I'd like to see more turnout, I'm not gonna lie. At all of them. I think like this is the government that affects most people. And I'd like to see way more of the town, way its voice, because I think this is where it matters most. But I mean, I'm thankful for what we got, and hopefully it passes.
Jeff? Anything?
I mean, I just echo those sentiments. The only thing that I'd raise is we're hearing stuff about, questioning about people moving in, potential school population increases. I don't think it's possible at this point, but if there were ways to earmark and say, if we see thresholds exceed these, exceed the guidelines by two students per grade or something, you have X amount budgeted to add an additional teacher. I think Missy was talking about a lot of schools budget in an additional teacher but don't actually use it. So, just something that we might want to consider in the future as well.
First time for me, so not sure what to expect. Seems like the turnout the room was almost full. I guess I agree, it'll probably be good to see more people. We have over 5,000 residents. I mean, reception seemed like it was mostly positive. There's just some questions, so I think we're in good shape as well.
Yeah, I thought, I'm glad for the people that came out. I thought the questions were, a lot of them were clarifying questions, or if the information was presented a little different, it'd be a little more understandable, and it's very different from challenging that the number's wrong, or it's too high, or it's too low, or whatever. So I feel like we're in the right place with what we've proposed. I don't see a need to tinker with that. And I think, turnout, most everybody had a chance to see Livestock Turkey. If people are unhappy, they'll show up for sure. So that's why I especially appreciate the people that were here tonight.
And the good work done by both boards.
Yeah, I think the presentations were great. So Mike, you didn't see the hearing, but any questions, comments you have?
No, I'm just picking up what you guys. It's good to hear that there was a good showing. I'm glad that people asked the questions they needed to get clarified, and I hope that the relatively low increase in taxes is accepted by the town. And I want to thank the boards also for all their hard work in trying to get us here where it's never easy. But it sounds like we got somewhere where we can feel good about what we did. So thank you.
And on the revenue projections, the financial model that I sent out after the April 9th meeting included all the latest revenue projections. So I'm not inclined to want to make changes there. All I'll say is everything will probably be a little bit different, plus or minus, but I don't think there's significance to make changes there. So with that in mind, I wonder if we have a motion, can I before we get to the motion, Kelly, I think it needs to be stated in dollars that would go to town meeting.
So it would be to put forth the town meeting a total budget of $28,308,091, with Board of Ed receiving $20,923,500, Board of Selectmen $586,600, debt $1,168,991, and capital $350,000.
So moved.
If it's
My thoughts exactly. But, so do you want to do them one at a time still, or is that the motion?
So you have
On the
to do
past
one in total, I mean, you can do them separately, but at the end, you have to have like a full motion that goes on the ballot.
Let's do them in total, because I think
Yeah.
it feels to me like we're all in agreement. So.
I agree. Yeah,
So, did somebody make that motion?
I'll make the motion. Yeah.
What do you want to,
Well, do I have to repeat exactly what you just said?
No.
I can't remember that anyway. So, yeah, whatever you just said.
What was presented? tonight.
Exactly.
I'll second that.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Abstention? Okay, that carries. Bear with me. The next item is, this financial report. I'm just looking to see if we had any. Okay, we had the treasurer's report from March. Kelly, I didn't really reach out to you about that. Do you have that? Is there anything you want to point out about that?
No, nothing unusual. Tax collection, fantastic. Building permits continue to be high. Interest still continues to trend above budget. Not much else.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about the treasurer's report? Okay, is there a motion to accept?
You want to do them all?
I think this is the only, so I don't have government or, Board of
You
Ed finance.
tabled it, you had it at the last meeting and tabled it. So they were attachments in your previous meeting.
Okay, I did not send them out for this meeting. Did I?
I think you sent them last meeting. Yeah, last meeting.
Yeah, but I didn't put it in this group. Is anybody prepared to discuss? I think I'll just table it. I didn't put it in the package, so I didn't forget.
I can pull the general government up. I mean, it's still money going back to the town. I want to say it's 158. So it's not much different than last month. We had a little bit of overtime from February, snow and kickover, but it was relatively the same.
I think I'm gonna put it on the next meeting, because I don't feel like I reviewed it enough to ask the question. The other one we sent looks like I did send around is the ARPA fund. Did anybody have a chance to look at that? I'm just gonna table the ARPA.
In the community center fund? I saw that too.
Yeah, that one definitely didn't put on the agenda.
Okay.
So I think we're just gonna do the treasury report, and we'll pick up the general government board of ed at the next meeting. So is there a motion on the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as read.
For a second.
Well, second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Abstention? All right. Just a question before, I know we're getting close to the end of the year, so we have a meeting that will be after the town vote. So after the tally is counted, we'll meet probably over in town hall. So that'll be a meeting that's going to start no sooner than 8:30. And then we have one meeting in June, I guess to the Board of Ed and to the general government. do you need us to contemplate another meeting to get business done? I know it's like there's capital items that may want to get approved before the summer starts or anything. Any thoughts around that?
We will have some capital requests for June.
Okay. Will you want those, it's like the third Tuesday in June, the date, take me a second to find it, but is that fine for your needs, or do we need?
Just let me see what-
That's going to be the 17th?
You also have the suspense list from the tax collector in June.
Yeah, that June meeting, it can typically be pretty big, which is fine. We're not waiting on on something else to start, but
Do you need the money in June or July? Just for town meeting.
Off the top of my head, I can't recall what's actually on the capital for June, but I believe since we asked, we had the earlier capital, I think we're good with the June. I have the Board of Finance on June 17th. Is that the date you're looking at?
yeah.
I think that would work for us.
Okay, I'll just leave it. If you decide that there's a need, just sooner than let us know, the better. Otherwise, we'll plan on a pretty big agenda on June 17th, and we'll try and catch up these financial reports on the date of the budget referendum, which we think will be, what, the 20th? Okay. All right. Is there any public comment?
I just wanted to say I was going to have a Board of Selectmen meeting on, planning it for Tuesday morning to set the town meeting for the 7th. So the town meeting will be on the 7th at 7 p.m.
Okay. And then, will you set a referendum at that point?
Yes.
No.
Yes, I'll be setting the referendum also,
At the same meeting?
which is May.
I
Yes,
think it's 20th.
May 20th
Okay.
is the referendum. 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
All right. And I'll get an agenda out sometime next week or two. Okay. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
Come on, Cots, let's do it.
Make a
I don't know if
motion.
we got another one in us here.
Exactly. I'll make the motion.
All right.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Abstention? All right, motion carries. Thanks, everybody. Great job. Hey, Mike, thank you. Bye.